2024 Old House Awards. We're here today to honor those Rockingham property owners who have kept our town's historic vistas vibrant and alive. Talk about vibrant vistas. The views out the windows here can't be beat. As we celebrate the recent past of historic preservation activity, we also look to the future, namely the generational preservation effort underway to preserve this elegant and noble building we're in here. It has served as a common ground for community meetings since 1787. Town meetings, worship, weddings, celebrations of life, music, theater, town halls, bar mitzvahs for all I know. Inaugurated by the Bellows Falls Historical Society 27 years ago, the Rockingham Historic Preservation Commission now carries the baton to celebrate with property owners their ongoing restoration and renewal of historic homes and commercial buildings. For many seasons, the program focused on neighborhood preservation in the village of Bellows Falls. But historic preservation is contagious, and the more we see as we drive along the rural byways and through the village of Saxon's River, the hamlets of Cambridgeport, Bartonsville, Brockways Mills, and so on, their historic viewscapes and landscapes tantalize the mind and demand recognition as well. 6 awards this year reflect well the diversity of that visual experience. Eligible properties are older homes that have been renovated, painted, or otherwise enhanced on the exterior, usually in the past 5 years. To qualify, properties must be at least 50 years old. We'll have an exception to that today, which is special, and maybe residential or commercial. Nominations are made by friends and neighbors, kicking off over Home Days weekend in August and closing on Labor Day. Traditionally, those who receive awards are presented a brass plaque and are encouraged to proudly display that on their properties. This year we are going to have to announce that the plaques are in the mail. Literally. They're stuck in transit somewhere between Keene and Bellows Falls. I guess that would be Westmoreland. Rest assured that they will be sent out to the awardees once the commission gets them. To paraphrase from Benjamin Harrison's 1690 New England primer, plaques and heart shall never part. Walter found that one. We apologize for the fact that there won't be the physical plaques now, but there will be the recognition. So we're going to move on. I'm going to head back down here now because it'll be easier to greet people and at least symbolically hand out the plaques from down below. It's always fun to get up here and thunder from the pulpit. So we're starting out with a property in the village of Bellows Falls, the property at 17 Westminster Terrace, the Preston H. and Harriet Hadley House, built in 1899 and currently owned by Michael Myers. Hadley House is an excellent example of a colonial revival home with Queen Anne characteristics. Go figure. The original integrity is well preserved in all of its aspects. The home has a brick foundation, clapboard siding, slate roof, twin interior brick chimneys. It was built soon after the adjacent Cornelius Lowell King estate was divided up in 1896. And the former pastored field owned by King was the last portion of the land to be developed on the plateau of Westminster Terrace. Once the established families of Bellows Falls had moved to Westminster Terrace, the pinnacle of residency status in the town, their children tended to stay on the street, either in their homestead or by purchasing or marrying into another family on the terrace. And many of you in this room will know that to this day, I guess, Michael, you can comment on this, to this day, Westminster Terrace is known to Bellows Falls people as Tony Terrace. So, Michael, come on up and at least symbolically get your plaque for 17 Westminster Terrace.
Thank you.
By the way, 17 Westminster, for those of us who've been around Bellows Falls for it, 17 Westminster Terrace has been through all sorts of incarnations. It's been used for various purposes and lived in by lots of people, but it still is a very handsome building. The next one is also in the village in Bellows Falls, 60 Green Street, currently owned by Richard DiMuzio. Are you here? There you are! I can't see you because you're against the light. It's an excellent example of a late 19th century Greek revival style house with some Queen Anne characteristics. Constructed during the rise of Bellows Falls as a prosperous industrial town on the move, which of course it still is. Richard, come on up. Again, I'll have to hand you the plaque. It was sort of a... Green Street is a wonderful example of a street that has preserved itself well. And also a property in Bellows Falls, but a commercial property, and we like to be sure that there is an award for a commercial property, is the property at 92 Rockingham Street in Bellows Falls. Currently owned by Erica Daniels and Tim Wells as Studio 92. Also a building that has been through lots of incarnations in its time, and it has been wonderful to see it restored. There are actually two buildings that are part of this site. Both were built as a combined automotive garage and gas station. The larger two-story structure had a mechanics bay in the rear of a two-story home. The smaller building served as a gas station. Sometime in the 1950s, the garage and gas station were readapted to a variety of commercial ventures. Vacant and unused, both properties were rehabilitated by the current owners and adapted for use as an art, studio, and gallery space, and a cutting-edge ad pun, hairstyle salon. Word on the street is that the smaller building will soon be home to a microbrewery. So, who's here to symbolically get the award for 92 Rockingham Street? We'll make sure they get the plaque. It's
and the picture. In the course of the award, we found a wonderful picture of Bellows Falls Historical Society, circa 1940, of both the buildings back when there was a garage and a gas station. And two strapping guys standing out front of us, proudly, I think, framed by the business. Gas, by the way, was $1.16 for 10 gallons.
about at 11, 12 cents a gallon, right? That sounds. I don't remember that. You may. So we're moving out into the surrounding countryside a little bit more, and the next award is to the Hamby Pruden Farm at 465 Rockingham Hill Road, a building that dates back to circa 1820, currently owned by Christine Hume. Rockingham's population exploded in the early federal period. We're talking about the early 19th century. New farms opened up and down the roads connecting the villages and hamlets of the town. First opened by the Hamby family and later purchased by the Pruden family. The brick farmhouse is a classic example of the vernacular brick Cape Cod style. Massive timber frame barn that once stood across the road was lost to a fire in the 1950s. Its solid stone foundation now is adopted as the centerpiece of a beautiful garden. So there's somebody here to get the award. We sure do. Well, you're very welcome, and thank you for everything you've done with that property.
It's been an honor and a pleasure to be the steward of that property.
And continuing with farms in our town, we have one that has been beloved to the town for a long time and to its owners for a long time. The Stickney Farm at 624 Pleasant Valley Road also dates back to around 1820. It's currently owned, of course, by Richard and Barbara Stickney. Yet another farm built during the federal period, the spacious farmhouses of a vernacular frame style that just grew over the years to accommodate an ever-expanding and prosperous family. Known as the Stickney Farm since the 1880s, it stands as an important visual anchor along Pleasant Valley Road and testament to an era of prosperous family farms. So, Stickney's. Air plaque.
Are you calling away empty?
Yeah.
Well, you'll get
It's
it.
in the mail.
It's in the mail. But thanks to both of you for everything you've done for the community and for your property and so on. It's certainly
We did
one of the special places in town.
We did paint the barn roof a couple of years ago. Thank you.
That'll do it.
Now we move to a special recognition award that slightly goes outside the usual standards. Well, we really couldn't ignore the newly recreated Bellows Falls Garage. The Bellows Falls Garage was built in 1920, as all of us I think know, torn down and rebuilt with a great deal of respect to the architecture that it had in 2022. It's currently owned by the Wyndham and Windsor Housing Trust. And so we broke some new ground and made this award for this. The Housing Trust, under the leadership of Elizabeth Bridgewater, conserved the historic landscape in the northern part of the village and created a new building. I think I'm not going to read through all of the history that's here, although Walter probably wants me to. But I think it's important to recognize that in addition to preserving some of the appearance of the northern end of the village there, the rebuilding of that has created living space relatively low-cost living space that brings people to be living in the community, that preserves people being able to live in the community. And this is the second time in the last couple of years that we have honored a building that has done that. We also gave an award to the reconstructed and rehabilitated Hetty Green Motel building, which also had gone from being derelict to being effective living space. So this is historic preservation is not just about making everything look the way it did 200 years ago. It's also about people and about living and about commercial property being used well and so on. And so I just want to emphasize that. And unfortunately, you can't go into that Bellows Falls garage building and buy a new car anymore as you could in 1925 or whatever, but that's the way things go. Is there somebody here from the Housing Trust? Yes. Again, the plaque is... Anything else you want to say about what's going on with the garage building?
I want to thank the community. We did a lot of community engagement when we were designing the garage and had a lot of input from folks that showed up consistently, and so we feel like the building really reflects the consensus that we came to in that process. It was a definite labor of love and something that I think we feel really proud of. We feel like we've made a really nice contribution to cleaning up that end of town and providing homes for 27 families that really needed new homes. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Or did I get everybody? Yeah. So, let's see, the musicians